Hello everyone, I wish you all a new day full of joy and luck. Today, I will take you with Tuna on a very special experience, which promises to surprise everyone. It is only the second day of returning to her husband's hometown, but this new bride has made the whole village stir when she decided to personally prepare 100 trays of food for the big party. The huge amount of work from choosing food, cooking, arranging, seems to be able to be completed by a whole team, but Tuna quietly shouldered it all by herself. Will she have enough strength to handle it all? How will her husband's family, relatives and neighbors react when witnessing this rare scene? Let's follow the whole journey to discover the interesting and emotional story right after this, and if you like it, click the subscribe button to follow the next episodes of the channel. The sky had just begun to brighten, and Alex's village was still shrouded in a thin layer of mist. The first rays of sunlight filtered through the old tiled roof, falling on the brickyard soaked in the night air. The sound of roosters crowing echoed from afar, mixed with the billowing smoke from the rice cookers, signaling the beginning of a busy day. In the simple three-room house, the mother-in-law's voice rang out, both warm and decisive. "Na, are you awake yet? Today is the village's big festival. Our family has to prepare 100 trays of food." Tuna, the bride who had just returned to Alex's hometown for 2 days, woke up with a start. Her eyes were still sleepy, but in her head, only the huge number rang out, 100 trays. Her heart was beating fast. Anxiety flashed across her immature face in her new role, wife and daughter-in-law of a large family. When she stepped out onto the porch, Tuna caught sight of her mother-in-law holding Henry in her arms. The figure of that woman was both serious and trustworthy. The warm hug for the little one and the confident gaze towards Tuna were like a fire that added strength. All her worries disappeared, giving way to determination. Tuna smiled slightly, bowed her head and replied, "Yes, don't worry, Mom. I will try my best." In the peaceful atmosphere of the countryside, the gentle but decisive answer of the new bride seemed to signal a challenging day about to begin. Smoke from the kitchen behind the house billowed. Sunlight filtered through the bamboo trees swaying in the wind. The atmosphere of the village suddenly became more bustling than ever. On the first day of returning to her husband's hometown, Tuna's real challenge began. Listening to her mother-in-law, she changed into a simple baba outfit, tied her hair neatly, and then carried a bamboo basket to the market with a few women in the neighborhood. The village road was still wet with dew, cool under the hurried footsteps, opening a challenging day but also filled with love. The early morning market was crowded. The bustling cries of vendors mixed with the crowing of roosters and the barking of dogs echoed throughout the alley. The scent of herbs, fresh fish and new bread mixed together, making the footsteps of passersby even more hurried. Tuna, in a simple awaba, held a bamboo basket in her arms, her eyes both eager and worried. Beside her, Alex quietly watched his wife, his eyes filled with concern, ready to support her at any time. For a new bride like Tuna, the rural market was both strange and familiar. Standing in front of the chicken stall, she paused for a moment. Hundreds of chickens for 100 trays of food. Will it be enough? She thought to herself. The chicken seller caught her confused gaze and smiled friendly. "How many do you want to buy?" "Give me 10 young hens first. I'll come back later to get more." The people going to the market immediately whispered, "That's a new bride, daring to take care of 100 trays of food. How brave." Someone whispered, "I thought she was just a young girl, but she turned out to be so resourceful." Tuna only heard vaguely, but her heart warmed. Each word of gossip was like a test, and she was ready to overcome it. She skillfully chose coriander, green onions, banana leaves, sometimes even haggling, surprising the vendors. Far away, Alex stood under the banyan tree at the market gate, not intervening, just quietly observing. Pride rose in his heart, whispering, "She is so brave." Each item of merchandise made Tuna's hands heavier. Sweat beaded on her forehead, but her smile still bloomed. For her, this was not only a responsibility, but also an opportunity to prove herself to her mother-in-law, to the village, and to Alex's own heart. The bustling village market gradually faded away. The bamboo-shaded road brought the couple back, carrying a load of vegetables, meat, fish, and spices. On Tuna's shoulders is not only the burden of a 100-table banquet, but also the trust and expectations of an entire village. That morning, the communal houseyard was bustling like a festival. From early morning, the stoves next to each other were already red-hot. The smoke billowing and mixing with the early morning wind created a white mist covering the brickyard. The clanging of knives and chopping boards, the calls to each other, the crackling of firewood, all created an overwhelmingly bustling scene. Before Tuna's eyes was a real battlefield, a battlefield of cooking and time. The mother-in-law looked at her new daughter-in-law, sweat beading on her forehead, both worried and challenging. "Nah, 100 trays are not easy. Can you do it?" Tuna raised her head, her eyes shining with determination, her smile firm. "Mom, believe me, divide into groups. Each person has a task. We will definitely finish on time." She quickly assigned tasks: vegetable picking group, sticky rice cooking group, chicken chopping group, spices group. Her voice was small, but clear and decisive, making everyone get to work. Despite the skeptical looks, even whispers of "will the new bride ruin everything?" Tuna just smiled, washed the vegetables, chopped the onions, and occasionally observed each group. Smoke from the kitchen rose. The aroma of chicken, sticky rice, and vegetables mixed in the air, and in the midst of that bustling rhythm, the image of Tuna appeared as a quiet commander, both gentle and strong, making doubts gradually turn into admiration. The clock hanging on the wall of the communal house ticked slowly, showing exactly 1 hour before the official ceremony began. The space of the communal houseyard seemed to be filled with a hurried rhythm, the sound of dishes clanging against each other, the sound of people calling each other, the sound of hurried footsteps running on the red brick floor, mixed with the sound of firewood crackling in the stove. Dozens of nimble hands, some holding trays, some stacking bowls, some wiping tables, some washing vegetables, all blended into a hurried, vibrant music. In the midst of that hustle and bustle, Tuna appeared like a conductor directing the whole orchestra. Her voice rang out, not shouting but clear and decisive. "Hurry up, everyone. Chicken in the middle, sticky rice on the side, vegetables arranged beautifully on the outside. It must feel cozy. The guests will be happier." Her eyes continuously darted around, both observing and adjusting. Her small hands skillfully turned the corners of each plate, adding a few sprigs of herbs for balance. It was that meticulousness and determination that made the tired kitchen assistants gradually smile, trying to follow the instructions. At that moment, a familiar figure appeared. Alex, in a simple shirt, bent down to lift a pile of heavy tables and chairs and placed them neatly in a corner of the yard. He didn't say a word, just silently took a towel to wipe each table, then ran to get more dishwashing liquid. His forehead was covered in sweat, but his eyes still lit up with concentration and determination. Tuna unconsciously stopped when she saw him. In the midst of the bustling crowd, her heart fluttered slightly. A smile appeared on her lips when she met Alex's eyes filled with pride, as if whispering, "I'm proud of you." The words were unspoken but enough to give her strength. Time passed quickly. The party gradually entered its climax. The familiar communal houseyard had now turned into a sumptuous feast. The music, the drums, and laughter filled the space. Children played around the fire. Adults gathered around steaming trays of food. The aroma of boiled chicken, sticky rice, and sweet cakes blended together, creating an unforgettable cozy atmosphere. Tuna stood still for a moment, looking at the scene with a feeling of excitement. She remembered the anxious morning when her mother-in-law doubted whether she could handle 100 trays of food, but now, hundreds of trays of food were neatly arranged. Joy spread across every face. Suddenly, her mother-in-law walked over, gently placing her hand on Tuna's shoulder. Her eyes were filled with affection that she had never seen before. Her deep voice rang out, as if it were an acknowledgement and also a message. My daughter, from now on I can rest assured to entrust the work to you. That moment suddenly made Tuna's heart flutter. All the fear and confusion of a new bride disappeared, giving way to peace and happiness. Preparing hundreds of meals by herself is not only a challenge, but also an opportunity for her to touch the hearts of her husband's family, touch the trust of the whole village, and above all, to affirm herself in this loving journey of becoming a